headphone.
Yeah, you have a ticket?
Nah, I forgot, man. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Well, where are you going?
Boston.
1375. Low to Boston. Here, you dick. I could charge you extra.
Graffiti in the morning, the world turning. Brainstorming, for sure, a forewarning. Good morning, I'm sorbing.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Good to see you back here in Boston. Hope the ride in wasn't too bad. Alright, so this will be episode number 2. Now, in this episode, I want to specifically focus on one thing. I know in episode number 1 I was all over the place, but that was a background, where this is going to be more on one specific topic. Now, what if I told you that you could amount a massive amount of change and success from one simple task? One thing that's actually going to make you feel happy, and it's proven. And it's one simple thing: making your bed. Who would have known? Definitely not myself. Never would I have ever thought that something as simple and mundane as making your bed would actually have a profound effect on my life in more than one way. But it's true. I was reading about this author. Her name is Gretchen Rubin. She has a book out, and she's a happiness researcher. Now, a lot of us I know want to be happy, and she basically wants to figure out what are the things that really make an impact on, people's levels of happiness. And who would have thought that making your bed was one? But she said, when I was researching my book on happiness, this was the number one most impactful change that people brought up over and over. Now, I'm surprised on that for, a multitude of levels. One, because not everyone does it. And number two, that's something that is very, military oriented. Now, I don't know if a lot of people are very familiar with how basic training is. I have a family that, has military backgrounds from the Navy and the Army. So I know a little bit about boot camp, and I know their, the training that they go through. Now, what also made this interesting for me is after I found that out from coming across what Gretchen Rubin was talking about, I looked into a couple other things, and I ended up coming across this video on YouTube. Now, in this video, basically, there was a commencement speech, so a graduation speech, and a naval admiral. He goes by the name of William McRaven. He was the commander of the U.S. Special Operations, and I believe in 2014 or 13 he had this speech at the University of Texas. But he goes on to pretty much reemphasize what was already said by Gretchen. And he said, it might seem like a simple and mundane task, but every day when we were in basic training, we were required to make our bed to perfection. He's like, it seemed a little ridiculous at the time, particularly in the fact that we were aspiring to be, real warriors, tough battle-hardened SEALs. But the wisdom of this simple act has been proven over and over again. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. Now, it will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, followed by another, and then another. By the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into multiple tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. And if you can't do the little things right, you will never be able to do the big things right. So, he goes on to say if you had, say, a miserable day and you come home, you'll see that your bed is made. And you did that. And that one simple task will give you encouragement that tomorrow could be better. And if you really want to change the world, it starts off by simply making your bed. Who would have thought? Definitely not myself, but like I said, change can literally start by just making your bed. So after I had an experience that affected me, I just was like, you know what? I'm going to go with this. if this is that important, I'm going to try it. Let's see what happens. Because I was a little skeptical. I used to be, told, as a kid growing up, oh, make your bed. My parents said that to me a couple times, but it never stuck. Now, I know as an adult, we all make excuses to ourselves. I'm just going to sleep in it again tonight. I don't have time, or I don't want to spend the time making my bed because I'm just going to ruin it anyways. Or no one's going to see it. I'm not showing it off. I have my door closed or whatever. If I have guests, it's not important. Or I have a pet that sleeps in my bed. It's just not worth it. But these are, excuses that just are so easy to say. But at the same time, if you look at it, it's so easy to make your bed. It doesn't take a lot of time. By the time you made an excuse, you could have probably just finished it already. It literally does not take me that long at all. So I make it easy. I'm not one of those people that has a bunch of those damn throw pillows all over the place. That would drive me crazy. But, I have my 2 pillows. I have a comforter and a blanket over top. I make it every day. Now, I started doing this, and I realized right away it was exactly like everyone said. It was a small accomplishment. But making the bed actually set the tone for the rest of my day. And I noticed that when I had what I felt like at the time, some shitty, horrible, just, really discouraging day, nothing went right, or at least that's how I felt at the time. People at work were horrible, maybe coworkers were causing issues. It just, whatever I experienced out in the world, I was like, damn, I'm done with this for the day. But I'd come home and I'd see my bedmate, and I was like, damn, I feel like I'm at a hotel. Like, this is pretty cool. I feel more relaxed. And that was something I definitely didn't expect, I didn't expect it to improve my mood by, kind of lowering my stress. But the thing I also have to understand is, and I also found this out, is we spend roughly a third of our life in our bedroom. Most likely sleeping, but you spend a third of your life in your bedroom. The appearance of your bedroom has an effect, a direct effect on your mood. And that's what I noticed right away. When it was done, I felt better. It's hard to feel calm, relaxed, and just, grounded when you're surrounded by chaos and disorganization in your room. Now, like I said, a properly made bed does not have to be up to military standards with the, complete squared away edges and, hospital tucks on the corner. But I'm just saying, make it look nice, make it look presentable, and you'll feel better. It's now a fact based on, multiple different sources. This is not just me saying, oh, it worked for me, it's going to work for you. This is a lot of people saying this, even what they practice in the military. So, like I said, I really enjoyed coming home, and I was like, wow, I feel like I'm, in a hotel room and everything's nicely, put together. It just feels like you're like all just done up in your room, and it's a great feeling. Everything just looks good. Now, the other thing that I started noticing is I was like, is this also going to have any other sort of effect on my life? And I noticed it did very quickly. I noticed that my productivity went through the roof. These small tasks kept compounding on top of each other. It was like I'd wake up, boom, bed made, go to the restroom, take out trash or recycling, vacuum up the floor, do laundry real quick, get these things done out of my way like ASAP. And then I actually had the desire now, because I got stuff done and I didn't dwell on it or waste time, that I put that time into exercising. And immediately I noticed so much more time was being used in a positive way. Everything looked better in my house. And when you surround yourself by being in clutter and chaos, you just feel disorganized. Nothing feels, calming about that at all. But when everything's done and made, you're like, wow, okay, I can relax. Like, this is a area now I can just take a step back and I don't have to worry about these things. So I don't like to think of myself as being an anxious person. Sometimes, yeah, I have things going on that can be, provoking. You're like dwelling on them. But this puts you at a huge sense of, ease by just saying everything, or at least around me in my apartment or my house now, is complete. And that is a huge thing that's, in the end of the day, not even that big, but it compounded into a bunch of positive things. And I never, like I said, I never would have ever thought that. But it's really true. Changing your routine, especially when you have bad habits, it gives you that kind of like wake up that you need. And think about, like I said, if you're doing things that are horrible for yourself, like eating bad foods or not exercising, and you keep doing those, and that's a routine of doing things that aren't good for yourself, drinking a lot, smoking, etc., those become those habits. And when I sat there and I was like, you know what, I'm going to change my routine, and this is going to impact my habits of not getting stuff done right away and being kind of on the I'll get to it later side. It had a profounding effect on the rest of my life, and I've only been doing it for a month. And I've noticed I've been able to get stuff done and now start working on all these other things that I just was like, I didn't expect I'd get to that. So it can have a very profounding effect. And I even, saw at some point that people said success literally starts with making your bed. Why do you think there's people that are so successful? Yeah, it all comes down to routine. And this is a routine that will build your habits. So I think of it like this. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. So with that being said, I think it's definitely just worth a shot and trying. You really have nothing to lose. Maybe like 30 seconds to a minute if, you live in complete chaos. But people around us are always going to see the effects of the changes we made. And I've already noticed that. I've had people literally tell me that they've noticed it. And that's a great feeling. And when you see it yourself, because you're always the last to see it, it really feels good. So think about taking the time out, trying something small, and hopefully it will give you the same profounding effect. And you can keep that compounding for yourself as well. I'm going to wrap things up with that. I appreciate everyone for listening today. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Stay vibing, everyone.